Come closer, child of the earth. You have been called, not by accident, but by spirit. I am Oshun, the river's whisper and the honeyed breath between lovers. I have flowed through time, through dreams, through the hearts of those who seek beauty and truth. I do not speak often, but when I do, the world listens. Tonight, I speak not only for myself, but for the daughters of power, the goddesses who have shaped mountains, commanded storms, judged kings, and guarded life since the world first exhaled. You stand now on sacred ground, not the kind you see with your eyes, but the kind that tingles under your skin. A place between places. A veil pulled back. In this space, time does not move in lines. It spirals, it sings, it remembers. And we, the divine women of Africa, have waited long enough to be remembered properly. We have been called myths, shadows, metaphors. But we are more than stories. We are the story, the beginning and the continuation, the blood in the soil and the fire in the sky. And now, I will guide you through our realm. You will meet Mawu, who holds the moon in her palm and the breath of balance in her silence. She is peace in chaos, the soft light that nurtures justice. Then you will encounter Mamiwata, the one who dances on the tide with gold around her waist and mystery in her gaze, goddess of oceans, of wealth, of temptation and transformation. From there, we descend into the deep, rich soil of Allah, who walks barefoot across the land and weighs every action on her sacred scale. She is both womb and tomb, the breath of birth and the stillness of judgment. And yes, you will learn of me, not from scholars, but from my own voice. I will show you who I am beyond candles and carvings. Then finally, you shall stand in the presence of one who was born woman, died queen, and rose goddess, Nsinga, whose defiance still rattles the bones of empires. Prepare yourself. This is not just history. It is memory. It is power. And I, Oshun, will carry you across its waters. Let us begin. Let us begin where the light is softest, not the harsh blaze of midday, but the silver hush of moonlight. It is there you will find her, cloaked in calm and clothed in balance. Her name is Mawu, and she walks the night skies of Dahomey with the gentlest of footsteps. She is not the god of war, nor the punisher of sin. She is the goddess of breath, of wisdom, of equilibrium. When the stars shimmer, they do so under her watch. When peace prevails after chaos, her presence lingers in the stillness. Mawu is not alone, for in the cosmology of the Fawn people of Dahomey, she is the twin of Lisa, the sun god. They were born together, a divine duality, female and male, night and day, moon and sun, softness and heat. Together, they create balance in the universe, a principle the people live by. But it is Mawu who is most associated with the cooling presence of the night, with reflection, healing, and serenity. Her power does not scream, it whispers. And in that whisper lies the strength to shape reality. According to the old stories, it was Mawu and Lisa who created the earth and the heavens, fashioning the world from chaos and assigning roles to the gods who would serve them. But Mawu, with her divine sense of foresight, knew the world needed stability, something to prevent collapse, imbalance, destruction. So she summoned Aido Huedo, the cosmic serpent, and placed the earth upon its back. Aido Huedo slithered through the sky and coiled beneath the land, supporting the weight of creation. It was Mawu's wisdom that understood strength without balance is ruin. She placed harmony at the core of existence. She is the mother of the gods, the mother of morality, and the mother of moderation. In Dahomean culture, Mawu is invoked in matters of justice, diplomacy, and healing. Her name is called when one seeks peace between rivals, calm after conflict, or wisdom in confusion. She governs not by fear, but by fairness. She does not strike with lightning or roar with thunder. She teaches by example, by the way the moon rises without force, glows without burning, and lights even the darkest path. Women of Dahomey once prayed to her under full moons, asking for fertility, safe childbirth, and the strength to care for their families without losing themselves. She is the protector of mothers, not only those who give birth, but those who birth ideas, hold communities together, and carry generational burdens. When leaders went astray, it was said Mawu would send dreams to guide them back, not through shame, but through clarity. In the divine council, Mawu is not loud, but when she speaks, the others listen. Her authority is unquestionable because it is grounded in wisdom. In a world that so often rewards rage, she reminds us that true power flows from balance. Her symbols, the moon, the serpent, the calm night sky, all reflect her nature. She is patient and vast, always watching, always weighing, and though she may be silent, she is never absent. I, Oshun, honor her deeply, for we are sisters in the divine flow of femininity. Where I bring love, pleasure, and beauty, Mawu brings the structure that makes such joys sustainable. She is the riverbank to my waters. Without her, I would overflow. Without me, she would run dry. This is the rhythm of the divine, not dominance, but dance. Mawu teaches us that no force, not even the gods, can exist in isolation. All things must relate, reflect, and rebalance. In modern times, her name may not be widely known beyond her homeland, but her legacy lives on in every act of justice, every moment of peace between rivals, every night when the moon glows and the world takes a breath. To remember Mawu is to remember that gentleness is not weakness, that quiet is not emptiness, that the divine feminine is not only seductive or fierce, it is wise, it is necessary, it is divine. So the next time you gaze up at the moon, understand that it is not simply a celestial body. It is a reminder that you are being watched by a goddess who asks nothing more than that you live in balance with yourself, with others, with the world. Her voice is soft, but her influence is eternal. And now, let us leave her domain of lunar calm and descend into the waters. Deep, glistening, unpredictable. There, another goddess awaits us. Her name is spoken in waves, feared and adored, seductive and mysterious. Come, let me take you to Mami Wata. The river has grown wider now. Its edges shimmer with secrets. The moonlight no longer reflects calm. It dances, flickers, tempts. Listen closely, child. The water is speaking in waves, in sighs, in song. This is no ordinary river, and we are no longer in the realm of gentle balance. We are entering the domain of the deep, where pearls mask danger, where beauty holds power, where seduction and salvation wear the same face. You have arrived in the realm of Mami Wata, the goddess who reigns from beneath the surface. She is not one, but many. A shapeshifter, a force, a pantheon of spirits born across the tides of Africa's coast and the trauma of the Atlantic. Her name is a transformation itself, from Mother of Waters in Pidgin English to Mami Wata, invoked across West, Central, and even East Africa. She is as old as the ocean and as new as every girl who learns that power and beauty are not mutually exclusive. Some see her with long flowing hair, black, or sometimes even red. Others describe her with the tail of a fish and eyes that can drown you with a glance. But always, she is adorned in wealth, golden jewelry, silk fabrics, mirrors, perfumes. To see her is to see abundance. To feel her is to feel awe. Mami Wata is the goddess of wealth, but not the kind you store in banks. Her wealth is fluid, like water, like spirit. It can flow towards you or away from you. To be chosen by Mami Wata is to be marked. She comes in dreams, offering riches, beauty, and power, often in exchange for loyalty, secrecy, or sacrifice. Some who serve her grow prosperous, radiant, untouchable. Others fall into obsession, madness, even isolation. She gives, but always with intention. She is not cruel. She is precise. Her love is intoxicating, her absence devastating. Her temples often lie close to rivers or the sea, filled with offerings of champagne, mirrors, incense, makeup, and money. Worshippers sing, dance, and enter trances, sometimes taken by her spirit. When she rides a devotee, she makes her desires known, not with thunder, but with rhythm. Mami Wata is not a goddess of doctrine. She is a goddess of experience. You know her not because you read her name, but because you feel her hand tracing your spine when the wind shifts. You feel her in the thrill of beauty, the depth of desire, the allure of luxury, and the echoing silence that follows indulgence. She is particularly beloved by women, though many men serve her as well. She is the divine archetype of power wrapped in allure. She is protector of sex workers, dancers, artists, and healers. Those whose bodies and minds live on the edge of society, misunderstood yet spiritually gifted. She empowers the marginalized, not with pity, but with pride. She does not ask you to hide who you are. She asks you to own it, to adorn it, to weaponize it if necessary. But make no mistake, Mami Wata is not tame. She can be vengeful, especially when disrespected or ignored. She demands reverence, and she does not tolerate betrayal. There are stories of lovers who abandoned her, only to lose everything, of merchants who broke their vows, only to watch their fortunes dissolve. Her justice, like her love, is swift and unforgettable. To walk with Mami Wata is to walk a line between pleasure and responsibility. You are free, but freedom always comes with a cost. And yet, she is also healing. Many who suffer from illness, physical, emotional, or spiritual, turn to her. She is invoked for fertility, for clarity, for rebirth. Her waters cleanse not just the body, but the soul. To bathe in her river is to begin again. To offer her champagne is to toast not just her beauty, but your own. In her mirror, you do not just see yourself, you see who you were, who you are, and who you could become. She is the goddess of self-realization, masked as seduction. Even as colonization tried to erase her, she adapted. She slipped through the cracks of religion and became legend. In diaspora, traditions like Vodou, Santeria, and Candomblé, echoes of her still remain. She is Yemaya to some, La Sirène to others. Her face changes, but her essence is eternal. Wherever water flows, she is there. Wherever desire stirs, she watches. I, Oshun, understand her well. We are both rivers, both radiant, both misunderstood. But she, Mamiwata, rules the space I do not dare touch, the mystery beneath, the deep pull of the abyss. She is the wave that swallows. I am the stream that seduces. Together, we are the twin faces of divine femininity. Now, rise from the water. Let the droplets fall from your skin like diamonds. Ahead lies soil, dark, fertile, and full of truth. There, a goddess waits who judges not your wealth, but your heart. She is earth, law, and legacy. Come, let us walk to Ayla, the sacred ground beneath our feet. Step gently now. The earth beneath your feet is not just soil. It is a living presence, a sacred witness. Feel how firm it is, yet how it yields. That is her nature. She holds the graves of your ancestors and the seeds of your future. She knows your steps before you take them. You may call her Allah. In Igbo lands, her name is sacred, whispered with reverence in the hush of night and the thunder of judgment. She is not the goddess of the sky, nor the waters, nor the stars. She is the goddess of the ground itself, the earth you walk on, the laws you live by, the morality that binds community. These are her domain. Allah is not merely a nurturer. She is a judge. She governs both fertility and the final resting place. When a child is born, it is to her embrace that it enters. When a body is buried, it is to her womb that it returns. In this, she is both beginning and end. The great cycle of life belongs to her, and all that happens between those sacred thresholds falls under her watchful eye. She is not vengeful, but she is unyielding. Her justice is natural, inevitable, and absolute. In Igbo cosmology, Allah is the embodiment of Omenala, the laws of the land, the moral order. When an act of great taboo is committed, it is not just a social transgression. It is an offense against Allah herself. Murder, incest, the desecration of sacred land, these acts are seen as direct violations of her balance. And when her balance is disturbed, the consequences ripple through the earth like a quiet quake. Crops may fail, children may fall ill, communities may fracture. But when balance is restored, through ritual, confession, or restitution, she blesses the land with abundance, peace, and harmony. Shrines to Allah are simple but potent. A mound of earth, a carved symbol, a sacred grove untouched by axe or fire. It is said that every village must have a space dedicated to her. For without her, no community can claim moral foundation. Her presence is marked not by grandeur, but by permanence. She does not demand elaborate temples. Her altar is the land itself, and through that land, she speaks in ways only the patient can hear. In the rustle of leaves, in the rhythm of rain, in the silence between footsteps. She is also the protector of women and motherhood. Fertility, both of womb and field, belongs to her. When a woman conceives, it is Ayla who blesses the seed. When she labors, it is Ayla who guides the child into light. When a farmer tills the soil, it is her generosity he prays for. Without her, there is no nourishment, no harvest, no future. And so, she is honored in every yam festival, in every planting ritual, in every burial that returns the body to her care. Life itself is an agreement with Allah, a sacred covenant of responsibility, accountability, and gratitude. I, Oshun, admire her not just for her power, but for her clarity. Where I soften, she steadies. Where I seduce, she grounds. I bathe in gold, she rests in clay. Yet we are sisters in spirit, bound by the feminine essence that gives and guards life. She does not need mirrors to see beauty. Her beauty is found in function, in growth, in order. And though she does not often speak, when she does, it is with the authority of mountains. Even today, as modern faiths spread and old ways are forgotten, her influence persists. The land still calls. The ancestors still whisper her name in dreams. And in times of crisis, the people return to her, to ask forgiveness, to seek stability, to find truth. Because no matter how many towers rise, or how many creeds are preached, none can escape her judgment. We all return to the ground, and when we do, she welcomes us, not with wrath, but with remembrance. Allah teaches us that morality is not just law, it is alignment with life. She reminds us that choices echo, that balance matters, that justice is not vengeance, but restoration. She is the still voice in a loud world, the conscience of the soil, the spine of the spirit. To walk in her path is to live in respect, not just for self, but for all beings. Now, dear one, the sun glints on the river once more. My time has come to speak for myself. You have heard my name whispered in songs, seen my colors in altars, felt my essence in the warmth of honey and the dance of flowing water. Let me show you who I truly am, not as symbol, but as story. Follow me now, into the current of memory, into the realm of Oshun. Now that we've walked with moonlight and danced with deep waters, now that your feet have touched sacred soil and your heart has weighed the law of the land, it is time for you to see me, not through legend, but through my own words. I am Oshun, goddess of rivers, sweetness, fertility, diplomacy, and irresistible love. I do not rule by sword or storm. I move through shimmer, through song, through seduction and serenity. I am the pulse beneath every romance, the reason your heart skips when beauty enters the room. But I am not to be underestimated. My softness is armor. My sweetness is power. And my love, my love, is never free. I am worshipped in the Yoruba traditions of West Africa, where my name is spoken in joy, reverence, and sometimes desperation. My river, the Oshun River, flows through Nigeria like a golden ribbon, and where it winds, so do I. I bring fertility to the land, to women, to ideas, to love that seems lost but longs to bloom again. My colors are gold and amber. My offerings are honey, mirrors, oranges, and sweet water. When people approach me, they do so not with fear, but with longing. For I am the goddess who listens to the heart's quiet voice. The hopes, the tears, the tender ache of what could be. But do not think me simple. I am not just a pretty face among gods. When the Orisha were tasked with creating the world, the story goes that I, the only woman among them, was left out of the council. They believed war and wisdom were a man's realm. They ignored me, and the world began to fail. Crops withered, rivers dried, the skies grew angry. Only when they humbled themselves and invited me into the divine circle did balance return. Without me, creation stalls. Without me, even the mighty tremble. I carry within me the power of persuasion. I do not need to shout. I enchant, I inspire, I turn resistance into rhythm. I am the diplomat among gods, the balm to broken peace. If there is conflict, I enter it not with rage, but with elegance. If there is injustice, I do not strike first. I watch, I wait, and then I act in ways no one expects. Sometimes a flood, sometimes a song, but always, always I bring what is needed. I am the patron of women, especially those who carry too much but dare to still smile. I honor the sensual, the creative, the emotional. To be called Oshun's daughter is to walk with a light in your eyes, hips that know rhythm, and a spirit that commands attention. But I do not only bless women. I bless all who seek love, healing, and harmony. Those who wish to reconnect with their softness, their power, their longing for beauty in a world gone dry. My shrines are alive with music. My devotees sing, dance, and offer me honey, though they always taste it first, for I once turned bitter when betrayed. Yes, even sweetness has a sting. I have loved, and I have been wounded. I have given, and I have been forgotten. But I rise again, each time brighter and bolder. For this is the path of the divine feminine, not just to love, but to rise, again and again, radiant and ready. Across oceans, I followed my children into exile. In Cuba, they call me Oshun. In Brazil, Oxum. I became the golden one, the saint cloaked in Catholic robes, still worshipped in hidden places, in secret ceremonies lit with candles and hope. The Atlantic could not drown me. Colonization could not erase me. I traveled in hearts and hymns, in drums and dreams. I am the Orisha who never left. And now I rise again, not as myth, but as memory made sacred. I do not demand temples of marble or statues of grandeur. I ask only that you love, that you create, that you speak the truth with tenderness, that you do not fear the joy in your own body or the wisdom in your own tears, that you let beauty be your compass even when the world mocks it. For in a world that worships violence and speed, I am a rebellion made of gold, a revolution of pleasure, of connection, of slow and sacred power. So when next you stand near a river, let your fingers touch its surface with reverence. Offer a prayer, not just to me, but to yourself. The version of you that still believes in softness, in sweetness, in magic. I will hear you. I always do. And now, child of the current, there is one more goddess for you to meet. One who began her life not in spirit, but in blood, a woman who rose through fire and steel to become divine. Her crown was forged in resistance. Her legacy roars in memory. Let us walk now into the realm of Nzinga, warrior queen turned ancestral goddess. Step forward now, not with silence, but with spine. You are entering the realm of a woman who was once flesh and fire, who ruled with a mind as sharp as a blade and a spirit no empire could tame. Her name was Nzinga, queen of the Ndongo and Matamba kingdoms, and in the eyes of her people, she did not die. She ascended. She crossed the veil not as a subject of death, but as a master of it. And now, she is more than a queen. She is goddess, ancestor, force. Nzinga was not born to be ordinary. From the moment she drew breath in 1583, the winds of destiny stirred around her. The Portuguese came with muskets and missions, with crosses wrapped in chains. They believed they could consume the land and its people as easily as bread and wine. But Nzinga stood. She learned their language. She matched their diplomacy. She sat among men as their equal, even dared to command them. When they refused her a seat at the negotiation table, she ordered one of her soldiers to kneel and sat upon his back like a throne. She did not plead. She claimed. When negotiation failed, she went to war. Not once, but many times. She led armies, formed alliances, used strategy and fire, both political and literal. She dressed in the garments of power, sometimes as a man, sometimes as more than one gender. She was fluid, fierce, and absolutely free. Her enemies feared her. Her people revered her. And long after the smoke cleared and the records tried to reduce her to a rebel queen, her spirit rose in ancestral rituals, in altars built in her honor, in whispers that still ripple through Congo. I, Oshun, know many women of power. But Nzinga walks among the immortals, not because she sought divinity, but because she earned it. She did not ascend through myth. She built her godhood with grit, with courage, with sacrifice. She is the divine that comes not from the sky, but from standing your ground. So when you speak her name, speak it like a drumbeat. Let it echo through your spine. Nzinga, Nzinga, Nzinga. And remember, every goddess was once a woman who refused to kneel. And now, child of spirit, our journey has come to its sacred close. You have walked beneath the moonlight with Mawu, tasted the salt and sweetness of Mamiwata's tide, stood rooted in the judgment of Allah, danced through the golden shimmer of my own river, and bowed before the fire-forged divinity of Nzinga. You have not merely learned names. You have touched the divine cloth of Africa's spirit. You have not just heard stories. You have remembered what your soul already knew. These are not legends. These are living truths. So now, as I, Oshun, draw the veil once more, let me speak one last time, not in teaching, but in blessing. Let me pour sacred oil on your crown. Let me speak into your life the power that each goddess carries, not for show, not for fear, but for harmony, for wholeness, for glory. Mawu, great mother of the moon and breath, bless this viewer with balance. May they walk gently but firmly. May their mind know clarity and their heart know peace. May they carry the strength to remain soft in a world that confuses stillness with weakness. May they know when to speak, when to rest, and when to shine. Mamiwata, queen of tides and treasure, bless this viewer with beauty and flow. May their spirit move like water, adaptable, powerful, and never to be trapped. May they find wealth, not just in gold, but in self-worth. May they be unafraid to desire and unashamed to receive. May the waves they create ripple outward and bring abundance to all they touch. Allah, guardian of the soil and the soul, bless this viewer with righteousness and rootedness. May they never forget where they came from. May their steps honor their ancestors. May they carry integrity like armor, and may their actions speak louder than any empty promise. May they build a life that feeds others as the earth feeds the tree. Oshun, yes me, goddess of love, laughter, art, and alchemy, I bless you with radiance. May joy find you even in small places. May your beauty never be dimmed by shame. May your voice be sweet, your spirit magnetic, and your days soaked in golden ease. May you love deeply and be loved in return. May you never forget that pleasure is a form of prayer. Nzinga, lioness of Congo, iron-willed ancestor, bless this viewer with courage. May they rise when others kneel. May they speak when silence is demanded. May they wear their pain like armor and their truth like a banner. May they fight when they must, but always return to peace. May they never doubt their strength, even when the world trembles. And now, divine child, may you walk away from this video not only entertained, not only informed, but transformed. You carry with you now the echoes of the sacred. You are not alone. The goddesses walk with you in your reflection, in your intuition, in your defiance, in your laughter, in your softness. This is not the end. This is a remembering. Go now with honey on your tongue and moonlight in your bones. Go now, not as a follower, but as one who knows. Know your name, know your power, know your path. And may the gods, our gods, bless you and keep you, shine through you and surround you from this breath to your last and beyond. Ace, ace, ace.